Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and today we are taking a look at the detailed breakdown for the GMax FF88 helmet available at RevZilla.com. So when you're looking at the FF88 helmet on the table right now, you notice a few new things from GMax. First and foremost, this is going to be the first helmet that GMax has released that's carrying an ECE safety rating, so that's a big step forward for the brand. The other thing you notice is the new FF designation in front of the number, and this means full face. So for those of you out there looking for your first full face helmet, or you simply bought a new motorcycle and you want a full face helmet carrying ECE safety rating that's not going to break the bank, this is one to take a look at. Now, when we're talking about the shell construction, this is going to be an ABS plastic shell. 2 different shell sizes are available, and when we threw this on the scale, it came in at 3 pounds 6 ounces in the large. Like I said, DOT, but it now is also going to carry the ECE rating for the FF88, and as far as the shape of the overall helmet is concerned, it's definitely going to be more of a neutral oval. And what I mean by that is that it's a little bit shorter front to back, you have a little bit more room in the side of the head, and if you have more of a round shape to your overall noodle sitting on your shoulder, this helmet's going to work nicely for you. So when you're considering your helmet, whether it's your first helmet, your second, it's really about finding the right helmet to fit the shape. Now, I did mention that the FF88 is going to come in at the very top of GMax's lineup. Again, first helmet with that ECE safety rating. If you're taking a look at what else is out there, you're probably considering helmets like the LS2 Stream or maybe the Bell Qualifier. Around that $120 price point, the GMax is really going to fall in that same niche. And something like the Bell Qualifier, you're looking at the advantages there being 4 different shell sizes. So it's really a matter of choosing which helmet is best for you, because that Qualifier has a little bit of a different head shape, a little bit more intermediate oval. So these are all the things to consider as you're breaking this down for what helmet is going to be right for you. So just taking a look at the GMax FF88, as we really dive into this, the first thing you notice, we're going to work from the front and we're going to pull our way through to the back. Now, we talked about the overall shell construction. It is an ABS plastic shell. It does have 2 shell sizes, and when we're breaking this down via size, extra small up to large will have the first shell size, and then when you get from extra large up to 3XL, you'll bump into the second shell size. So just note on that. Now, looking at the vents on this, GMax is going to say you've got 6 intake vents, 6 exhaust vents, and they're really counting the chin vent as 2, they're counting the brow vent as 2, and then they're counting the 2 chimney vents as 2 separate vents. So depending on whether you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, or you count them as 6, there's still going to be a nice ventilation scheme with this. And you're going to see there's a slide vent actuated for the top, and then when you're looking at the chin vent, this is actually going to be a slide down, so you have you can pop it open, get some nice air flowing through there, and then a chimney vent, you have sliders on either side, so you can open those up, so they're all going to be nice active vents. As we move this around to the back, you'll notice you're going to have 1 large slider vent on the back, and it's going to be 1 big pull in the back, which gives you that nice, and you could probably consider this even going to be an intake vent, because you're still having the air coming through the front as well as pulling out the back, and then you're going to have vents along the back scheme. And if I just pick it up a little bit as well, you're going to see you have nice vents pushing through. So when we take a look at the inside of this helmet, you're going to see nice cutaways throughout the EPS, really working to push airflow through. And that's one of the advantages that we're seeing with the FF88, is that it is going to flow a decent amount of air. Now, when you're looking at the face shield on this, you will notice that it is going to be a little bit of a two-handed job to get the face shield on and off. So just taking a look on the right side of this, you're going to have 1 little pin, and you have to use 1 hand to push that pin in, and then you're going to use the other hand to pull this arm down. Once that arm pulls down, the face shield pops right off like so, and then to put it back on, you simply snap it back into place, and you push that arm back up and it locks on that pin. So not overly complicated, but this isn't going to be something that you're using on your head. You're going to have to take the helmet off and you have to set it down on a surface or set it down on the seat of your motorcycle to be able to swap face shields. It's not going to be a very quick process. The other thing of note here is that the breath guard, it does have a tendency to fall out. So if I were going to get this helmet, you can see right away with just barely touching it, the breath guard kind of pulls right out. So I would say probably just consider taking this out and going without the breath guard. Otherwise, you are going to find yourself constantly pushing it back into place. So, I would like to see this beefed up a little bit. If you're going to put a breath guard in, just make sure that it's not going to fall out. So if I was looking at the FF88 for myself, I would probably just go ahead and pull the breath guard out of this particular helmet. Now, as we spin around to the back, you will see the graphic on the table in front of me is going to be the X Star graphic. There are a variety of different graphics, and there's also some matte color options for you in the solid. So if you're looking for solid or graphics, again, around that $117 mark for the solid, and then you're bumping up to about $125 if you're looking at the graphic option. Now, let's take a look at the inside. So we mentioned those exhaust vents. You can see them really clearly coming out the back on this. The interior liner on this is what GMax is calling their Spa Soft liner, and it's a combination of CoolMax as well as bamboo and charcoal. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull out the liner here. We're going to start with the cheek pad. And the one thing of note is that there are going to be some cutaways in here. For those of you that do want to put a comm system, you will see that, or I'm sorry, not cutaways rather, but they're going to have internal pockets inside the cheek pads themselves. So with this particular one, you can see they've got the indentations for the speaker output, and then you can notice that they do have that nice cutaway if you do want to put a speaker in there. It is going to be compatible for most of the universal Bluetooth options. And when we're talking about that Spa Soft design, one of the reasons that they're incorporating the charcoal as well as the bamboo is it does have a moisture-wicking antimicrobial factor to this. And one of the things that I like is that it's a really nice contour cheek pad. They don't talk about that in the product description, but when we started ripping this apart, the cheek pad has a really nice contour and it fits really nicely against your face. So nice addition there. And as we pull the rest of this out, what we're going to look at next is I want to just get a really close view of the channels that you're going to see when we take a look at the venting scheme on this. And the other thing you notice with the actual liner itself is they did a brow vent, or a brow mount rather, so you're not going to have any uncomfortable snaps in your forehead. Some of the manufacturers you see with some of the more entry-level priced helmets, they actually include snaps that put the liner in that way and it actually causes pressure points. So the fact that GMax went with a brow mount on this makes it really nice and comfortable. And you can see it's going to be that same Spa Soft liner throughout the entire helmet. Really nice 3D wicking mesh, comfortable, helps to wick sweat away. And they did a nice job with interior. When you're taking a look at the actual EPS itself, single density EPS, and it's going to be the maximum ventilation that's really going to push the FF88 ahead for this particular price point. You can see starting at the top all the different cutouts for the vents, and those channels are going to simply carry all the way through to the back, giving you a tremendous amount of airflow if you're utilizing those vents. So for riders riding in a warmer season or a warmer climate, you're looking for an entry-level helmet, you're looking for something that's not going to break the bank, and again, with the FF88, you're now stepping up into a full ECE rated helmet. The GMax is definitely one to consider with this new lid. Now there's a lot of riders out there that are utilizing GMax helmets on their rides, and if you want to hear more about what they have to say, click the info button on your desktop or mobile device, which will allow you to read other rider reviews from folks that are already out there using the FF88 on their rides. If you have more questions for us, pick up a phone, give us a call, 877-792-9455, or simply type us out an email, cs@revzilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the GMax FF88. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.